Hi, my name is Brent Csutoras. I'm here with Search Engine Journal. I'm joined today by Duane Forrester, one of my longtime friends, really great guy from Bruce Clay Inc. We've been already talking quite a bit before we jumped on camera about AMP and progressive web apps, and I wanted to get your view kind of on what's going on with AMP right now.
Yeah, you know, this is interesting. I read, I think this morning, that AMP's been released now in, I want to say India. I just kind of glossed over it, but the fact is that AMP's rolling out in more countries, more areas. So despite its modest beginnings as a news-only product, we clearly see its expansion. We see that they've solved a number of problems, like embedding AMPs in it, and allowing, or ads in it, and allowing forums to exist in it, and things like this. They're obviously important.
And breaking it out of the carousel and in the search
exactly,
results has been
exactly.
huge, right?
So there's clearly an investment in it, and that's important because, you know, with any change in technology, it takes time for adoption, and that's kind of where we get into that conversation about progressive web apps, or PWAs.
Which a lot of people don't know about.
No,
it's really the future of apps in general.
It completely is. Yeah. I'm really excited about it. It will allow you essentially to build one web existing product and use it everywhere. And this is not responsive design that works everywhere. This is truly an application style scenario where it just works everywhere in every instance. I mean, we're talking about potentially the end of the app stores, because there's no need for that, and we end up with this scenario of, you know, you don't have to produce apps now. Your website is your app. And then it solves the problem with App Store optimization. It solves the problem with consumers.
Well, the drop-off rate. I mean, when you look at the number of people that drop off by the time you get to the installation process, with the, and a lot of people don't necessarily probably still understand what this is, but this is essentially a web-based code that allows you to visit and basically utilize the app as it would look in a mobile view, and then save it to your your home page on your phone, and it operates, and it has push-pull notifications. It has everything. Allows you offline usage as well.
It's so far everything that I've seen, and I've seen a few of these in actual use live, like this is a really, I'm going to say, the best combination of all factors from all forms. And what it does is it simplifies the customer's journey. It makes it easier for them. In addition to this, it simplifies the cost to a business for maintaining multiple locations. It speeds everything up because the speed at which these things load is spectacularly fast, which then kind of brings us back to AMP, right? Because one of the big selling points in AMP is how fast everything is in that environment. That is fantastic, but with every technology that rolls out and an engine says you should do X, there's an adoption rate, and that curve is very shallow to begin with, and then eventually it'll spike up, right? When I was with Bing, when I was working at the search engine, we saw this with Robot.txt, we saw this with sitemaps.org, like all of those things, you know. Today, you can't imagine doing any of this work without referencing these concepts and these tools. AMP will become something similar to that, and then PWAs afterwards. So much like you have to redesign an older website to be mobile friendly, responsive, you will now have to move to an AMP friendly scenario, eventually a PWA friendly scenario, and lest you think you have to jump through the flaming hoops that someone else's will, you have to update your website anyhow. Because eventually Flash goes away and HTML5 takes over. So you have to do these things, these investments happen regardless. And this is probably one of the most exciting things to come forward in a long time.
And I would say, you know, AMP is one of those things we could probably confidently say now you really need to probably engage and start utilizing. It's the replacement for the mobile kind of element. So I mean, definitely do that. The progressive web apps, I think, is still probably, I mean, Ilya Grigorik, who's really a leading force behind that, he was mentioning that there'll be a lot of testing in 2016, but I wouldn't see it really roll out until next year, mid-year probably.
There may be a few dozen websites built for this standard right now, so we're really cutting edge if we're thinking about this stuff.
It's good to think about, though.
No, completely, because here's the reality. The reality is we get to a state where we all have to move toward AMP, and we kind of hate it up front, but then see the benefits and everybody just naturalizes on it. Eventually you have to do the same thing with another technology. So, you know, I encourage people, like, stop belly aching about the fact that we have to change, and then start focusing on where you should change to. because that's how you manage your costs, and that's how you build for success in the future, and it's a longer-term stability for you.
So people want to find out more, they want to learn from you, they want to follow you. Where can they find you online?
Probably easiest to hit me on Twitter, at Duane Forrester. Will find me all day long. You can try friending me on Facebook as well. I'll probably say yes if you're rational and real. That's it. I am like the first 3 pages of search results for my name.
Perfect.
So that'll work.
Really appreciate you joining us on the show today. Pleasure to talk with you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Brent.
Hi, my name is Brent Csutoras. I'm here with Search Engine Journal. I'm joined today by Gary Yesh, Chief of Sunshine and Happiness at Google. Welcome. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
There's been a lot of discussion, I don't know, a lot of discussion, but there's been some decent discussion recent about Penguin.
I never heard about Penguins.
No. They've been running around here chasing you, so. Becoming more of a part of the everyday algorithm, the live algorithm.
Yeah.
And
Today's summit is the 3 takeaways structure. Yes. I'm leaving with way more.
I also like the single session format for conferences.
I agreed to be a speaker here because I think above all else the quality of people who attend the meeting. There's something to be said about the fact that you can't just, hey, come. It's by invitation only.
What I've really liked about this speaker is that it's been very well-rounded.